Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the Cincinnati Reds replay. And I think I'm going to have to dim this ring light because I got that circular ring on the board there, and I don't want that. So let me go ahead and turn this all the way off because I don't think it's needed when we have the extra lighting there. All right, so anyway, still a work in progress. Hello, Kenyon. Hello, Mr. Robert. This is game number 11 in the Cincinnati Reds replay. They're 7-3. They've won 4 in a row after coming off a slow start. The scene has shifted to Veterans Stadium, the Vet in Philadelphia. And it'll be Nick Leyva's Phillies against Lou Piniella's Reds. Phillies on the StratMat computer are 5-8 on their season to this point. Before we get to the game day checks, we will show the umpires for today's game, and these are the actual umpires at the actual bases in this real game. Dana DeMuth behind the plate, Tom Howell at first, Doug Harvey, the veteran, at second, and Jerry Crawford at third. So we will bring them back in when and if needed, when the game book calls for it. Cool deal, Hardwood. 71 season. Okay. 71 Expos. That's a team that doesn't get a lot of attention. Usually 71 Pirates get all the attention in 71. But hey, maybe in your world you can get them to do better. You never know. That's what the interesting thing about History Maker is anything happening. You make your own history. That's literally where the term came from. History Maker Baseball. All right, so now we'll go through our game day checks. The Phillies, of course, are neutral. All opponents are neutral by default. For the Reds, they've won 4 in a row. So if we roll this D6 and it's a 1-4, they are fully harmonious and they'll be on the sunny side of the chart. If we get a 5 or a 6, the decider die will tell us where they are and what chart we go to. That's a 5, so they're not going to be instantaneous harmonious. The best they can do is semi-harmony. So we'll roll the decider die. Are they ready to keep winning? No, they're not. They're actually going to be semi-dissonant in this game. Despite winning 4 in a row, they are going to be semi-dissonant. And we will go to the stormy chart for this. So we're rolling the stormy chart. We had a 2, which is media. So we come over here to media. And we get a 6. That's non-issue. So it's a media non-issue. So nothing going on game day-wise because of that. It's a non-issue. So therefore, they're just going to be semi-dissonant, but nothing else is going to be taking place. And the only thing they still have going on is Danny Jackson is happy until further notice, but he's a starting pitcher, so it really has no effect on this particular game. All right, it's Jose Rijo against Ken Howell in this one from the Vet. First of a 2-game series, a quick 2-game road trip, and then the Reds are right back to home to face the Expos in a 3-game series, and then the same Phillies come in right after that. Look at our starting lineups for today's game. We have Chris Sabo at third, Barry Larkin at short, Paul O'Neill right field, Eric Davis in center, Todd Benzinger at first. Hal Morris, who's usually a first baseman, is playing left field in today's game. Joe Oliver, Ron Oster, and Jose Rijo. These are the as-played lineups. For the Phillies, Dykstra in center, Herr in second, Von Hayes in right, Ricky Jordan at first, John Kruk in left, Dickie Thon at short, Darren Dalton catching, Charlie Hayes at third, and Ken Howell doing the pitching. Now, one thing I failed to do, which seems to come up a lot, is I failed to get the most recent game for each team so I can get the hot and cold players. So we look at, let's see, today's game is the 24th, so I need the 22nd, I believe. So let me find the score sheet from the 22nd. If I can find the score sheet from the 22nd. Might be under my clipboard, under my 24th. And it is. So we look at the Reds, the previous game. Larkin was 3 for 4, so that's good enough for me to make him the hot player. And for the cold player, let's see, O'Neill was 0 for 4 with 2 Ks, so he definitely qualifies as the cold player. Now, for the Phillies, the only thing I can do with the Phillies is look at their real world previous game, or I can do the Steve Tower thing of the number 2 being hot and number 8 being cold. So I think I will do that just for the first game of the series. So Tom Herr will be hot. Charlie Hayes will be cold. All right, so that takes care of all the preliminaries. Gets them out of the way. Get my game book ready to go. Have the extra large, super large game book. And Hardwood, I'm not sure about your vision, but if your vision is like mine, the extra large print in the game book is very nice. So it's up to you whether you want to pay a little bit extra to get the bigger book or get the one that, standard book. It's up to you. But I felt like I needed the bigger one, which is what I did. Okay, so leading off will be Chris Sabo. And now I need to go to the Strat computer so I can get these stats for you as we go along. Sabo's hitting .318 in 44 at bats, no homers, and 5 driven in. And we're underway from the vet. 114, that's a freshness check, and of course he is fresh. It's first batter of the game. So Sabo will ground it to the shortstop, Dickie Thon, for out number 1. And we're underway from Philly. That'll bring up Barry Larkin. Billy Hatcher getting the day off today, or night off, depending on if it's a day or night game. And that's why Morris is in left field. That's a 4.55. 4.55. Flash. Does the pitcher have flash? He's got semi-flash. The doc gives it to him. That's going to be a strikeout. So Howell puts the K on Larkin for out number 2. Forgot to give Larkin stats. I'll do that next time. Or I might be able to do it now. Let's see. Go back one here. Get his numbers for you. Larkin is hitting .357 in 42 at bats, no homers, 5 runs driven in. All right, now we back to O'Neill. O'Neill's hitting .303, 1 homer, 6 runs driven in. That's a 5.66. 5.66. Ask, is the pitcher wild? No. Is the batter a good eye? No. It's a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So quickly, 3 up and 3 down go the Reds as Ken Howell gets 2 Ks. That's it. Result was in blue, so we're going to the right now chart for the at-bat of Rijo and Dykstra, who are both neutral, obviously, since they never had an at-bat yet, but that's just the way it goes. When you end the inning in a mini chart, you carry it over. So we go to the right now chart, neutral batter and neutral pitcher. Hello, Mr. Larry. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that if I bought this thing up, it was going to be worth its while. So apparently it seems to be. Hopefully it is anyway. It frees up my phone so I can look at my phone now and not have that tied up. So here we go. Dykstra against Rijo, neutral against neutral on the right now chart. That's a 1-2. Hot batter. No, he's not a hot batter, so he's going to ground to short. So Dykstra will ground out to the shortstop, Larkin, for out number 1. 1 away, and that's going to bring up Tommy Herr, kind of the prototypical number 2 hitter is Tommy Herr. I believe he was number 2 hitter for the Cardinals for years as well. 2.55. Let's see what 2.55 brings. Is the pitcher a star? No, he's not a star. Is the batter a home run king? No, he's not a home run king. He will fly to left, and that's 2 away. And I forgot to give Rijo's numbers. He is 1-0 with an ERA of 0. He's only had 1 start. He went 7 innings. Got the win. Pitched a 1 hitter, 1 walk, and 12 strikeouts. So his second start is off to a good start as well. As he gets Mr. Herr to fly to left field. Opposite field, little can of corn. Quickly 2 outs, and that will send up Von Hayes, right fielder. 1-1-5. He is fresh. Of course he is. It's a pop fly to the infielder of our choice. We'll say he pops it up to second, and Oster is right there to take care of it to end the inning. So 3 up and 3 down. Both sides. Nothing doing in the first. We go to the second. No score from the vet. And Eric Davis will lead off for the Reds. Perhaps their best hitter on the year to this point. Probably no perhaps to it. I think it's documented that he's the best. Hello, Chuck. How you doing? He's hitting 390, 3 homers, 12 runs driven in. That is a 2-2-4. Pitching home, yes, he is. It's a pop out to short. So the Phillies get a break with the hometown cooking. And it's popped to short, one away. Eric Davis had no chance. Here's Benzinger. He is hitting 350, a homer, and 6 driven in. And that is a 4.55. That talks about flash. He's got semi-flash. The dot gives it to him, so it will be a strikeout for Ken Howell, his 3rd strikeout of the game in just 5 batters faced. He has struck out 3 of them. And here's Hal Morris in limited duty. He's 1 for 5, hitting 200. That hit was a double, and he does have 1 run driven in. It's a 2-3-6 double control. He does not have it, and he's not eager. He's semi-eager. The dot says he's not eager, so it won't be a 2-ball count. It will be a full walk issued to Hal Morris, and that's the first base runner of the game for the Reds as Hal Morris draws the walk. 2 down for Joe Oliver, and Oliver is hitting 222. No homers, 4 driven in. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? Yes, we're in 2nd inning, so it's a line out to second base, and that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Reds there, just the walk and nothing else. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Still a no-score game. Due up for the Phillies, it will be Ricky Jordan. And I admit, back in the late 1980s, I was somewhat of a baseball card collector, and I was trying to buy cards of rookies that I thought were really good on the cheap for like 10 cents a piece, thinking they would be worth something down the road. So I'd buy them in bulk. Ricky Jordan was one of those guys I bought in bulk, unfortunately. So I had about 20 Ricky Jordan cards that I paid about $2 for all 20 combined. But him and Glenn Davis were the 2 I really jumped on when they came out as rookies, and didn't work out for me. That's why I'm no longer in the card collecting business. All right, I'll stick with this. Here's Ricky Jordan against Rijo. 1-3-5 is unusual play result, and it is in black. It is in black, so that means we're going to the ballpark card. So ballpark card, or not ballpark card, but ballpark chart, mini chart. And you can see Veterans Stadium plays semi-small to both lefties and righties. So now we're going to see if it's plays small or semi-small. It is semi-small. Semi-small. And it's a 25. Small ballpark, long drive, slugger, or home run king hits home run. Others fly out. Ricky Jordan is not either one of those, so he will just fly out. Hello, Doug. How you doing? So it's a fly out. We're going to say it's a left field. Since he's a right-handed hitter, we'll say he pulls it to left. So that's 1 out. So Reds catch a break there. Came up with a small ballpark, but the roll turned in their favor. And now here's John. I am not a crook. He is playing left field. Speaking of left field. 1-1-4, and I believe that's another freshness check, but I will verify. 1-1-4. Yes, it's a freshness check. It's a ground ball to short for out number 2. So Kruk is out of there, grounding to Larkin. And that'll bring up Dickie Thon, shortstop. One, 3, 4. Goal catcher, no. Is the batter a champion? No. Outfield drama for the Reds, and everybody in the Reds outfield is neutral. All 3 are neutral. And we get a 4-5 on the outfield drama. So we look at outfield drama. 4-5, center fielder iron. No, he's not. I'm sorry, 4-5, center fielder gold. No, he's not gold. So it's going to be a single, and it's in red. So we're going to the right now chart for the next at bat. So right now, Dickie Thon gets that 2-out single because Eric Davis was not gold. And we're going to the right now chart for Darren Dalton's at bat. So Darren Dalton will be up. Rijo will be semi-cold because he just gave up that hit. Dalton will be neutral on the right now chart. And now they're both neutral on the right now chart. 1-3. So we'll look at the right now chart. 1-3, cold pitcher. No, he's not. If that had been a dot, he would be a cold pitcher, but it's not. So he's not a cold pitcher. It would have been a single. Otherwise, it's a fly out the center, and the inning's over. So Rijo gets out of that. To win the inning. So we go to the third. Still no score. And this is the final inning of semi-freshness for both pitchers. These cards, especially the Philly cards that haven't been used yet, do kind of stick together until they get broken in a little bit. The Reds have kind of broken them in already after 10 or 11 games, so they're not quite as bad. All right, so Ron Oster will lead it off, and Oster's hitting .222. He's 2 for 9 on the season with no home runs or runs batted in. That's a 2-2-6. The dot says he is hit by the pitch, so Ron Oster will reach on a hit by pitch. He gets plunked, and that's going to allow Rijo to bunt him over. And in History Maker Baseball, the bunts are pretty simple. It's pretty simple philosophy. You avoid a 6, you pretty much have a good bunt. So the attempted bunt chart is right there. And we get a 4, which 3, 4, 5 says out at first, runners advance. So it doesn't really matter where he bunted it to. We'll just say that he bunts it to Jordan, who tags him coming up the line, 3 unassisted. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. And Oster will take second base with 1 out. So he's in scoring position, is Oster. And the order flips over to Chris Sabo. Sabo grounded to short his first time up. That's a 2.55 for Sabo. And we go to the chart for 2.55. And ask, is the pitcher a star? No, he's not a star. Home run king? No, he is not. He's a slugger, but he's not a home run king. So he will fly to the left for out number 2. Had he been a slugger, it would have been a home run, but he wasn't. Just hits a deep fly to left field that John Kruk calls in at the warning track. 2 down for Barry Larkin. Larkin struck out his first chance. 1-2-2. Is the pitcher a workman? Ken Howell is a semi-workman. Desired Die says he is, so it's a single to center field. And on a lead die of 1 with 2 outs, the runner on second scores automatically. So it's an RBI single off the bat of Barry Larkin. And the Reds lead it 1-0 because Ken Howell was a workman. Reds lead it 1-0. That brings up Paul O'Neill. 4.56 for O'Neill. Check that result. 4.56. Is he patient? Pitcher's blank. Is he patient? No, he's not. He's going to fly to center. That's going to end the inning. But the Reds pick up a run on the RBI single from Larkin. And we go to the bottom of the third. Reds 1, Phillies nothing. That result was in purple, so we are going to the chemistry chart for the next at bat, which belongs to Charlie Hayes. So we go to our chemistry chart. The Reds semi-dissonant. Phillies are neutral on the chemistry. 2-2. Batting team distance. No, they are neutral. If it was dissonant, batter would not be focusing, swinging an outside pitch and ground out. Otherwise, he doubles. So Charlie Hayes will crack a double because they weren't dissonant. So Charlie Hayes, a leadoff double. And the Phillies are right back in business. That'll bring up Ken Howell. And with the runner already in scoring position, well, they're going to try to bunt him to third base, obviously. That's the play. So again, pretty much just got to avoid a 6, which he does. It's a good bunt. And I'll say Oliver came up from behind the plate to get it, throwing to Oster covering first for a 2-4 putout with Hayes going to third. So now Hayes is at third with 1 out, and the infield's going to have to come in for Lenny Dykstra. Infield is in. Dykstra grounded to short his first trip. 1-3-6. 1-3-6 on the main chart. Is the pitcher an ace? He's a semi-ace, but the dot doesn't give it to him. Is the batter whiffer or cold? He's neither one. So we got infield drama for the Reds, and Oster is semi-iron. Everybody else is neutral. Now everybody's neutral, and we go to the infield drama for a neutral check on a 1-6. Shortstop gold. No, he's not gold. He'd be out at first. Otherwise, it's going to be a base hit. So it will be a base hit that will score Charlie Hayes. And Dykstra has just tied this game with a RBI single past Larkin. And we are all tied up at 1 apiece. First run given up of the season by Rijo. And now Dykstra, semi-active. We're going to see if he can get the jump, get the lead. He cannot, so he cannot steal. And that brings up Tommy Herr. 1-2-2. He's not a workman. Rijo definitely not a workman. And it says here, champion or whiffer for her, neither one. So he's going to line it to third, and that is out number 2. So he lines it right to Sabo. And with 2 outs, that will send up Von Hayes. (2-5-6). Pitcher struggling, no. Champion or patient. He is semi-patient. The dot says he is. He will draw the base on balls to keep the inning going. So Von Hayes waits out the Rijo and draws the walk. 2 on, 2 out. Clutch situation now upon us for Ricky Jordan. Jordan flew to left his first chance. 3-5-5. Ask, is the pitcher a struggle gilded? No, it's a batter a champion. No, he's not. He's going to ground to second unless he's a whiffer, which he is not. It's going to be a ground out to second to end the inning. But the Phillies do tie it on the single by Lenny Dykstra. And at the end of 3, hear from the vet. It is tied at 1. So it could have been worse for the Reds, but they get out of it with just minimal damage. Now both pitchers will go now to semi-freshness. And it'll be, see, O'Neill made the last out last inning, so it'll be Eric Davis leading off. Davis popped to short on the Ken Howell advantage where he was the home pitcher. So let's see what he can do this time. 3-6-6. He is not a pinch hitter, so he will fly to center. And that is out number 2. Or out number 1, rather. Start the 4th. Here comes Benzinger. 1-3-5. That's the unusual play. And it's a blue 1, so we're going to the umpire chart for the first time. Home plate umpire is Dana DeMuth if we need him. If not, we'll pull in somebody else. But we'll bring Dana DeMuth here just in case he is needed. Umpire chart. Whoops. Umpire chart. Base is empty. This block right here. And we get a 1-2. Strict umpire at second. Okay, we're going to need the second base umpire, Doug Harvey. And he is not strict. He is respected only. So if he were strict, rules batter out at second base, stretching single into a double. Other umpires rule batter safe for a double. So how about that? Doug Harvey says that Benzinger got in there, stretching that single into a double. He is safe at second base with the 2-bagger. Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Double for Benzinger. And with 1 out and a runner in scoring position, that brings up Hal Morris. That's a 5-6-6. That's not good for the batter, most likely. 5-6-6. Wild, no. Good eye, no. It's going to be a strikeout. For out number 2, it's in blue. We're going to the right now chart for Joe Oliver. His last at bat, he lined to second. He is neutral. Howell is semi-hot based on that strikeout. Now Howell is hot, and it's a 5-5 on the right now chart. Hot pitcher and neutral batter. Timeout, conference to mound, play resumes, batter draws a walk. So it will be a walk. And Joe Oliver will draw the free pass. That'll send up Oster with 2 outs and 2 on in a clutch situation. Oster was hit by a pitch and scored the only run of the game for the Reds. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? He's semi-fresh. The dot gives it to him, so it's a line out to second, and that's going to end the inning. Had that dot not been there, that would have been a base hit for Oster, and the Reds would have taken the lead, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. It didn't happen. So we go to the bottom of the fourth, still tied at 1. Reds and Phillies, first of a 2-game set. First of a 2-game series. And now coming up for the Phillies, it'll be John, I am not a crook. He will lead off against Rijo. 3-5-6, that's a left-right split. And he's a lefty versus a righty. He's not a utility, so that's a base hit for Kruk. He gets the platoon advantage base hit. So I circle that one and see how many times it comes up. But there it is. John Kruk takes advantage of the platoon. Left-right and gets the base hit. Here's Dickie Thon. That's a 2-4-6. Good morning, DJ from the left coast. 2-4-6 control pitcher. Rijo has semi-control. Doc gives it to him. It's a ground ball back to Rijo. It'll be a fielder's choice, 1-4, with Thon reaching. So Thon will replace Kruk as your runner at first base. And that will send up Dutch Dalton, the catcher. And Dalton flew to center his first time up. (3-5-5). Struggler, no. Champion, he is not a champion, so he will ground to second unless he's a whiffer. He's not a whiffer. It's grounder to second. Another fielder's choice. Lead die of 3. It's going to go 4-6. And now Dalton will take over as the runner at first base with 2 outs. And that'll lead up to Charlie Hayes, who did double and score the only run for the Phillies. That's a 4-4-5. This pitcher a workman? No, he's not a workman. Is the batter patient? Hayes is actually eager. He will ground to first, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Phillies in the fourth. We finished 4 innings of play here at the Vet, and we're tied at 1 apiece. On this first of a 2-game set. And the top of the 5th, we'll see Jose Rijo lead things off. He had a sacrifice bunt in his first at bat. 1-4-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. So it's going to be a ground ball to third. Rijo is out of there. 1 away. And that flips the top of the order to Sabo, who's 1 for 2. Sabo had an RBI single his last time up. 2-5-6 is a pitcher a struggler? No. Champion or patient? Neither one. Infield drama for the Phillies. And in their infield, everybody is neutral on the infield drama. And we roll a 2-6 on that infield drama. So we see what infield has to say on a 2-6. It says second baseman gold. No, he's not gold. It's going to be a single. So since Herr was not gold, Sabo snuck it by him for a base hit. I don't know why I said Sabo had an RBI single. It was Dykstra that had the RBI single. I don't know why I said Sabo did. But he got a single now. It's first hit of the game. And that'll bring up Barry Larkin with 1 out. 4-4-5. We go back to the main chart. 4-4-5. Is he a workman? He's a semi-workman, but Dot says no, so it won't be a double. Is he patient? No, he's not patient. He will ground to first, but on a lead die of 4, that's going to move the runner up. So the only play by Jordan was a step on the bag, and Sabo does get into scoring position. So we are now technically in a clutch situation for Paul O'Neill with 2 outs and Sabo at second base. Sabo semi-active, so almost guaranteed to score on any hit. 3-3-6. Is pitcher an ace or dynamic? No. Sadzak, utility, or patient? He's none of that. That's a single to center, and that will give the Reds the lead. Back 2-1. Sabo will score. And it's an RBI single for Paul O'Neill. And it's also in red, so we're going to the experience chart for the next at bat of Eric Davis. He's a semi-icon, and Howell is a semi-icon. Now they're both neutral on a 1-6. They are both neutral on the experience on a 1-6. Icon pitcher, no. If that had been a dot, he'd be an icon, but he's not. Fool's batter swinging an inside pitch for a ground out if he was an icon. Otherwise, batter connects with a single to the outfield. So that's going to be a base hit. And with 2 outs and a lead die of 1, O'Neill was only going to get 1 base, unfortunately for him. That's just how that worked. So it's a single for Davis. Puts runners at first and second. And it passes the baton to Todd Benzinger. He doubled his last time up, but was stranded at second base. That's a 2-4-4. And the 2-4-4 asks, is the pitcher an ace? No, he's not. Is the batter a champion? He's not. So it's a ground out to short unless he's a whiffer, which he is not in this case. So he will just ground to short, and that will end the inning. But the Reds reclaim the lead. And that is thanks to the single by Sabo, but more importantly, the single by Paul O'Neill. I'm sorry, the single by Davis, because Davis is what brought him in. O'Neill got him to second with the single, but Davis's RBI single is what made the deal. So the Phillies now trail the Reds 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Howell is up to the plate. Kind of early to pinch hit for the pitcher, though, just in the bottom of the 5th. So I think they're going to let Howell swing away since it's a tight game, 2-1. I don't see any reason to pinch hit for him this early. We get a 1-3-3. It's a batter, a slugger. Howell is not a slugger, so he will fly to left. And that's 1 away. Hauled in by Morris. 1 down. Back to Dykstra. He's 1 for 2. RBI single his last time up. 1-3-6. Is he an ace? Yes, he is. Semi-ace. The dot gives it to him. So that means it's a strikeout. So Rijo puts the K on Dykstra. And with 2 outs and the bases clear, it's going to leave it all up to Tommy Herr, second baseman. That's a 1-5-5. Is he a home run king? Herr is definitely not a home run king, so he will fly to center instead to end the inning. So 5 innings are in the books, and it's Cincinnati 2 and the Phillies 1. First of a 2-game set at the Vet. Then the Reds will return home for a 3-game set with the Expos. All right, Hal Morris will lead things off. Morris has walked and struck out, has yet to put bat on ball. Sorry, a little late there. 2-2-4, pitching home. Yes, he is. Second time that's come up. So the Phillies are getting that home field advantage on 2 at-bats already. That role doesn't usually come up that often, but it's doing it now. And the Reds aren't liking it too much. Lou Piniella is protesting a little bit. Says, wait till we get the Phillies back at Riverfront. That won't happen. And he's correct. Here's Joe Oliver, not Al Oliver. 1-6-6 is a pitcher a workman. Yes, he would be if it was a dot, but he's not a workman. Is batter a whiffer? We got to find out because he's a semi-whiffer. He is a whiffer, so Joe Oliver is going to strike out. Out number 2. Ron Oster. 1-5-6 is the batter a whiffer. Semi, but dot says no, so we got outfield drama, and everybody's neutral for the Phillies in their outfield. I'm sorry, Dykstra is gold. Everybody else is neutral. 1-2, outfield drama. Dykstra is gold in center. But this is 1-2 right fielder iron. It'd be an error if he was an iron, but he's not. It's just a routine fly out, as Ron Hayes is not iron. He will make the catch. And Oster is gone in the 6th. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, still 2-1. Favor the Reds. And Von Hayes, who made that catch, will lead off to start the bottom of the 6th. 2-5-6. Rijo is not a struggler, obviously. Champion or patient. He's semi-patient. The dot gives it to him, so that'll be a walk. So Von Hayes waits out for the second time in a row. He waits out Rijo for a base on balls. And those leadoff walks can come back to bite you. Here's Ricky Jordan. 0 for 2 so far. 4.55. It's a flash check, and Rijo has the flash quality, so that is a strikeout. Rijo with the whiff. And that'll turn it over now to John Kruk. Kruk singled his last time up on a left-right split check. Oop, the black die did not go through. Let's do that again. 156. 156. Is the batter a whiffer? No, he's not. We got outfield drama for the Phillies. I'm sorry, for the Reds, and everybody is neutral for the Reds in the outfield drama check. And that's a 3-5 for outfield drama. 3-5. Left fielder Gold. No, he's not Gold. So it won't be a fly. It'll be a double. It's a double. And on a lead die of 4, the runner scores. So John Kruk just drove in Von Hayes with a tying run. And we're tied at 2. Kruk with the double. That result was also in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart for the next at bat of Dickie Thon. So we go to the chemistry chart where the Reds are semi-dissonant and the Phillies are neutral. The Reds are dissonant. 1-6. Batting team dissonance. Nope, it would be a pop out. Otherwise, it's a walk. So the Phillies are not dissonant, so they will get the walk. So drawing the base on balls will be Dickie Thon. It does set up a double play if you want to give a silver lining to that. It does set up the force at any base. And it will send up Darren Dalton. Dalton grounded, hit no fielder's choice his last time up. Reds looking for the double play. 244. 244. Go back to the main chart. 244. Is he an ace? No, not this time. Is he a champion? No, he's not a champion. So he will ground to short, unless he's a whiffer, which he is not. So since he grounds to short, it'll be a fielder's choice. Kruk will go to third. Out at second is Thon, and Dalton takes first on the field, his second consecutive fielder's choice. And we said that was a 244. He grounds it short. So Larkin flips over to Oster for out number 2, and now it leaves it up to Charlie Hayes in a clutch situation. Charlie Hayes. Now, some strategy could be employed here. The pitcher is up next, Ken Howell, but if we walk Charlie Hayes, they're going to pinch hit for Howell, so they're going to make Charlie Hayes beat him. They don't want a good pinch hitter coming off the bench to beat him, so that's the way they're going to play it. Charlie Hayes, the batter. We get a 1-4-6. Flash. Yes, he's got flash. That's a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. But the Phillies tie it on the double by John Kruk. And after 6 complete, we are tied at 2 from the vet. And Rijo is set to lead off the inning, so I do believe we will get a pinch hitter for Rijo. There was an off day before this game, so the bullpen is definitely fresh. So we will go ahead and do the final numbers on Rijo, get his total stats in place. For Jose Rijo, he goes 6 innings, gives up 5 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. Walked 3, struck out 3. So those are the numbers on Rijo. Now we need a pinch hitter. Howell is no longer fresh because we're in the 7th inning, so he loses all freshness. He is set to lead off next inning, so I think the Phillies want to try to get him through this inning if they possibly can. And the Reds will send up Ken Griffey as a pinch hitter for Rijo. So Griffey will come on and pick up a bat. See what he can do. Batting for Rijo. Griffey has only had 2 at-bats all year. He's 0 for 2. He has drawn a walk. But so he could, definitely use some at-bats. If you don't get any at-bats, you kind of go stale. So they got to keep them fresh as much as possible. Ken Griffey plays first base in the outfield when he does play in the field. 3-3-4. 3-3-4, ace or star. No, he's not an ace or star. Is the batter a sad sack? He's a semi-sad sack. The dot says he is, so he's going to line it to short. Wow. So Griffey fails in the pinch. He's now 0 for 3 on the season. And we're back to Chris Sabo. Sabo 1 for 3. That's a 2-6-6. He's the leadoff batter. Yes, he is the leadoff batter. He's not leading off the inning, but he's the leadoff batter in the lineup, and that counts. So that's a single to center field since he is the leadoff batter. Bo will single. Now he's semi-active. We're going to see if he can get the lead. He can. So we're going to try a stolen base. Stolen base attempt. Right here. Stolen base attempt. It is right in this section here. We rolled to the side eye. He got the jump. And now the catcher, Dalton, is normal. So a 1-4, and he will steal the base successfully. And if there's a 1, it's a throwing error on the catcher. That's a 3, so it's successful. Stolen base for Sabo. He will steal second. And that's big, getting into scoring position with nobody out. Stolen base on a big one for Sabo. And now here comes Barry Larkin. With 1 out. I said nobody out, but Griffey lined out the first. So even more important to get to second base with 1 out. That's a 1-2-4. Control pitcher. Howell does not have the control quality. Is the batter eager? He is semi-eager. Side eye says he's eager. He's going to pop it to first for out number 2. He would have walked otherwise, but he was too eager. Pops it up to Jordan at first. And now it's going to be all up to Paul O'Neill. Although O'Neill did have an RBI single his last time up. 5-5-6, that's good for O'Neill. 5-5-6, is the pitcher an ace? No. Is he a sad sack? No. It's a double to right for Paul O'Neill. And the Reds take the lead 3-2. Paul O'Neill with a double. Clutch double for O'Neill. And he was a designated coal batter for this game based on the previous game, but he's coming through here. Comes through in a big way with an RBI double. And now you wonder, will they let Howell continue? Or do they go to their bullpen and do a double switch? It looks like it's going to be a double switch. Ken Howell will be lifted. And the Phillies will go to their bullpen, and it will be a double switch because the pitcher spot is set to lead off. So we'll figure out who they want to bring in from the bullpen first of all, and then figure out who they might want to exercise a double switch for. So let's see who's coming in from the bullpen. Looks like it's going to be Darryl Ackerfelds, and he has no pitching quality. He's neutral on everything. But he will be an ace on the first at bat. So Ackerfelds will be coming on. Now it's just a matter of where he's going to bat in the lineup and who's going to come out. The previous out was made by Charlie Hayes at third. So do they want to replace Hayes at third base with somebody else, which is certainly possible. Let's see what they might want to do here. Look at their bench. They got Dave Hollins. I believe he's active. Let me double check the computer, make sure he's active. I'm pretty sure he is. I wouldn't have pulled him out otherwise. Yep, he's there. So Dave Hollins will come in and bat ninth and play third base. And the new pitcher is going to be Darryl Ackerfelds. Ackerfelds will come on and take over in the 8th position formerly held by Charlie Hayes. All right, so Dave Hollins is your new third baseman. and he will be leading off in the number 9 position. The pitcher spot, Ackerfelds, will be in the 8th position, which is 9 batters away. So Hollins takes over at third in the number 9 position, and he is stoic with any prospect. All right, so that switch has been made, and now Eric Davis is your batter in a clutch situation. Reds lead it 3-2. Looking for more. 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Pitcher Wild. No, he's not Wild. Is the batter eager? Eric Davis is not eager, so he will ground out to second unless he's patient, which he is not. He's just going to ground out, and that's going to end the inning. But the Phillies, or rather the Reds, take advantage and get that lead 3-2 as we go into the bottom of the 7th inning. The 7th inning stretch is upon us, but the Reds need a new pitcher as they had to pinch hit for Rijo. It'll be Hollins, Dykstra, and Herr, so it's a lefty pull on the lineup, so it looks like they're going to go to the left-hander out of the bullpen, Norm Charlton. So Charlton will take over for Rijo. One of the nasty boys, Norm Charlton, will come on and close the book on Hayes. So let's put Hayes in here. Not Hayes, rather, but Howell. Go to the box score and get Howell's final numbers. I believe he was charged with all 3 runs, so he's on the hook for the loss. He goes 6 2/3. Gives up 7 hits and 3 runs, all earned. He walks 2, strikes out 5. So not a totally bad outing, just on the losing end at this point. But anything can happen. That's absolutely true, that anything can happen. So 7th inning stretch. I might do a quick stretch myself just to make sure I don't get too stiff. Let's see, this has been going for 47 minutes. That's a good enough time to stretch, I think. I think that warrants a stretch break. So I will stretch real quickly, and then we'll get down to business. It'll be Hollins, Dykstra, and Herr for the Phillies in a 3-2 ball game. Norm Charlton now on the mound. Charlton does not get any push or extra bonus because he's coming in to start the inning, not middle of an inning. But he is a semi-ace to begin with. 4-4-5 for Charlton. 4-4-5. He's not a workman. Is the batter patient? He's actually semi-eager, so he will ground to first. So Hollins is out. First unassisted as Benziger makes the play. 1 down, and that flips the order to Lenny Dykstra. He's 1 for 3. 2-6-6. He is the leadoff batter, so there you go, base hit. That's the second time that role has come up. So Lenny Dykstra wasn't the leadoff batter of the inning, but he's the leadoff batter in the lineup, and they both count. So Dykstra is aboard. Now let's see if Dykstra can get the lead to steal. He can. So we're back to the stolen base chances, and we'll bring up our stolen base chart. Once again, the catcher, Oliver, is neutral. So we're under the normal again. So it's a 1-4. That's a 5. He's caught stealing. So Lenny Dykstra thought he could sneak something by Joe Oliver, and Joe Oliver says, not so fast, my friend. That is a caught stealing as Larkin puts on the tag. It's going to go 2-6, caught stealing for out number 2. And now Herr is up with the bases cleared. Two outs, bases cleared. Big caught stealing. 1-3-5 is the unusual play, and it's a red 1 and a black 5, which takes us to something called balks and bogeys. Balks and bogeys on the red 1 and the black 5. Balks and bogeys. 1-2. Routine fly ball lost by outfielder. Batter safe at second base on a two-base error. How about that? Who's the outfielder? Well, doesn't tell us. Hers would be a switch hitter batting right-handed. So it's either going to be, I'm going to say it's either left field or center field. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 is left field. 4, 5, 6 is center. That's 6. So Eric Davis will be charged with the error on the balks and bogeys. And Tommy Herr will take second base with 2 outs on a two-base error. And boy, now, how big was that caught stealing now? Two-base E8. And that takes over to Von Hayes. Tying run now at second base here in the bottom of the 7th. Lefty on lefty matchup, Charlton and Hayes. 3, 4, 5. And we go back to the main chart. 3, 4, 5. Which asks, is it an iron catcher? And Oliver is not. Is the batter with a good eye? No, he does not. It's a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there. Charlton pitches around the two-base error. And at the end of 7, it's still Cincinnati 3 and the Phillies 2. That result was in blue, so we're going to the right now chart for the first at bat of Benzinger. Ackerfeld is neutral. Benzinger, his last at bat, grounded to short. He is neutral. So we got neutral against neutral on the right now chart, and that is a 3-4. 3-4 on the right now chart. Cold batter. No, he's not cold. If he was, he'd have a weak dribbler to the pitcher, which causes a team slump, and you have retiring groundouts to end the inning. But since he's not, it's just a routine fly to right. So he's only going to produce 1 out, not all 3, because he was not cold. All right, so start the top of the 8th with a fly out to center, to right field, rather. And Hal Morris is your batter. Ackerfeld is semi-fresh now since he's in his second inning of work. 4-4s, that's good for the offense. 4-4s. Is he a scrapper? No, he's not. It'll be a double to right field unless he is a home run king, which he is not. But Hal Morris will take the double all day long. Double for Hal Morris as the Reds look for insurance here in the 8th. It's a double. Brings up Joe Oliver, catcher. 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Is the pitcher wild? No, he's not wild. Is the batter eager? Oliver is not eager. He will ground to second. And on a lead die of 2, well, anything to the right side, he's going to move to third base. So 4-3 ground out. Morris does take third, but now there are 2 away. And it's going to be up to Ron Oster. And the pitcher spot, Charlton is on deck. They could walk Oster if they so chose to do so and face a pinch hitter. But I think they're going to go ahead and pitch to Oster. Actually, you know what? They're going to walk Oster. They changed their mind. They're walking Oster. So Oster will get the free pass, the intentional walk. That's going to force the Reds' hands to bring in a pinch hitter and take Charlton out, which is what's going to happen. So Charlton will come out, and the Reds will counter with a pinch hitter. And that pinch hitter is going to be Herm Winningham. So Oster gets the free pass, and Herm Winningham will pinch hit for the Reds. And that will be all for Charlton. And the Reds will assign Rob Dibble to come in the 8th inning, which they say is no problem for them. So Winningham will come in and pinch hit. See what he has done on the season replay to this point. Winningham is 0 for 3, so he hasn't had many at-bats either. So you got to get these guys some at-bats. You can't always go to your best guys every single time. You have to spread the bats around, or at least I think you do. 3-6. Oh, what do you know? Talk about a quality managing move. Look at this. 3-6-6 pinch hitter. There it is right there. 3-6-6 pinch hitter. Single to right field. How many times has that ever come up with the pinch hitter is actually pinch hitting? Very, very rare. Look at that. 3-6-6 pinch hitter. Single to right field. That will score the run. Move Oster to third. And how about that? Mr. Winningham does it. An RBI single for Winningham because he was a pinch hitter. Philly's got to feel snake bit on that one. And now that will bring up Sabo. Unbelievable. 4-2 now in favor of the Reds. Trying to get Ackerfeld through the inning. Here he is against Sabo. There are 2 outs, 2 on, and 1 in. That's a 3-5-6 lefty-righty split. That is a Circle K strikeout to end the inning. But the Reds add to their lead on the pinch hit RBI single from Herm Winningham. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. And it is 4-2 Reds. And the new pitcher for Cincinnati will be Rob Double Dibble. And that'll be all for Ackerfelds for the Phillies. But Rob Dibble will be coming on. And, of course, Randy Myers is there for the 9th if needed. But Rob Dibble will be coming on to pitch. All right, for Ackerfelds, he's going to go 1 1/3 innings. So let me get all this information so I'm up to date. Go to our box score and get this information. A quick pause while we do that, just to get the logistics straight. So Charlton goes 1 inning, gives up a hit, nothing else, and a strikeout. And Ackerfeld's 1 1/3 innings, 2 hits and a run, walk and a strikeout. And the Phillies will need a new pitcher in the 9th. So that's all for Ackerfelds. So up for the Phillies, it'll be Jordan, Kruk, and Thon here in the bottom of the 8th against Dibble. 4-2 lead for the Reds. And Ricky Jordan, your batter, against Dibble. 3-5-5. Is the pitcher struggler? No. Is the batter champion? No, he's not. It's ground out to second unless he's a whiffer, which he is not. So Jordan will ground to second for out number 1. That will send up John Kruk. Kruk has singled and doubled. 2 for 3, 3-6-6. He's not a pinch hitter, so it's going to be a fly out to center field. That's the 3rd time that roll has come up, and of course we hit it with the pinch hitter for Winningham. But the other 2 times have been flies outs to center field. Here is Dickie Thon. 3-3-6 is the pitcher an ace. He certainly is, so it's going to be a fly out to center field to end the inning. That's in red. We would normally go to the experience chart, but the Phillies are making a pitching change, and that overrides that. So it will be on the regular chart as we go to the 9th inning. So let's see. That is a fly to center. So the Phillies will need a new pitcher, and they'll go to their bullpen. McDowell is their closer. You don't want to. You'd like to save him for the next game in case they get the lead. So they'll go to somebody else. And let's see who they might want to go to. Could be Jeff Parrott. He's certainly a possibility if they want to go that route, and that's the way they're going. Right-hander Jeff Parrott will be coming on for the Phillies. His job is just to keep the Reds where they are, keep them in close proximity so the team has a chance in the 9th. But it will be Jeff Parrott coming on. No double switches because they would pinch hit for him in the 9th anyway, I think. And they're just going to leave him out there to go 1 inning and be done with it. All right, so he's going to be facing Barry Larkin here in the top of the 9th. Jeff Parrott against Larkin. 4-2 Reds, top of the 9th. Triple fives, that is not good for the pitcher. Triple fives is an ace or a star. He's neither one. If he was coming in mid-inning, he'd be an ace, but not to start the inning. So that's, that rule was way back when. That was changed a long time ago where he does not gain the ace quality. Is a batter a scrapper? Larkin is a semi-scrapper, but the sire die says he is, so he's going to get a single. It would have been a home run otherwise, but he does get the single at least. But the fact that he's a semi-scrapper and the dot came up that way, that cost him a home run. But Larkin will take the single. Will take the single. Leadoff single for Larkin. And that'll bring up O'Neill. 166. Is the pitcher a workman? He certainly is. It's a single to left field. That'll move the runners up a base. And if he had not been a workman, that would have been a double play, most likely. That would have been a whiffer, so it would have struck out, but it could have been a double play. But instead, it's a single to put runners at first and second. First two are on as the Reds try to expand the lead. And here's Eric Davis. Parrott to Davis, 3-5-6. That's a left-right split, and it's going to be a strikeout. Circle K strikeout comes up again big for the Phillies as Davis takes the whiff. And that'll bring up Benzinger. He's 1 for 4 with a double. Triple ones. That's not good for the pitcher either. Is he an ace? No. Is he a scrapper? Semi-scrapper. Dot says no. It's gone. Home run. A 3-run shot for Todd Benzinger. And I think that puts the game on ice. So Randy Myers has sat down. They don't need his services anymore. That is a home run for Benzinger. His second of the season. RBIs 7, 8, and 9. And the Reds now jump all over the Phillies by the score of 7-2. And they might as well leave Parrish out there to take his punishment the rest of the way. Facing Morris. Whoop, Suidites. Let's re-roll that. 1-3-3. Is the batter a slugger? He's not. So it will be a fly to left. That's 2 down. So I believe Dibble will stay in the game to get the save, or at least attempt to get the save. Since he had a 1-2-3 inning last time, not going to be that much stress on him. Here's Oliver, 3-4-6. 3-4-6 for Oliver. Is he eager? He is not eager, so he will draw the base on balls. So a 2-out walk to Oliver, and that will take us to the chemistry chart. Sorry, there are 2 outs. That'll take us to the chemistry chart for the at-bat of Ron Oster. And again, Reds are semi-dissonant, and the Phillies are neutral on the chemistry. Now, they're both neutral. 1-2, batting team distance. No, they would have been had the dot come up. It would have been a strikeout. Otherwise, got a fence check. So on the fence check right here, Oster is a scrapper, so we're going to be in this category here. He cannot hit a home run, but he's going to at least get a single at worst. That's a 5. It'll actually be a double. That's a double. And let's see here. I think since it was a 1, active runner scores from second on a hit. No, he doesn't get to. Oliver will have to stay at third base on that double. So Oster doubles, keeping Oliver at third base. And that's going to bring up Dibble, the pitcher. They're going to let Dibble hit. Dibble will hit. A rare at bat for a pitcher in the National League, a relief pitcher, I should say. But they will let Dibble hit. Oh, decider died, fell out of there. Let's try that again. 1-2-4, control pitcher. He does not have that. Dibble, his qualities are all right here on his pitcher card. So 1-2-4, control pitcher. He does not have. He is not the control pitcher. Is he eager? He certainly is. So he will pop it to first, and that will end the inning. Very rare relief pitcher hitting chances, but when you got that big lead, you can afford to do that. So the Reds put up a 3 spot in the 9th off of Parrott, and we go to the bottom of the 9th with the Reds solidly in front, 7-2. Dibble will stay in there and try to get that save as long as he can finish the game off. He will earn the save because he came in a save situation at 4-2. So he would definitely earn the save. And we start the bottom of the 9th. It will be Dalton, Hayes, and a pinch hitter. for the Phillies. So Dalton will start us off. 2-2-6. He is not hit by the pitch. Is he the cleanup batter? No, Dalton is not the cleanup batter. He will fly to left, and that's one away. So Dalton flies out to left field to take care of that. Dalton will fly to left. Why is my thing messing up here? Did this screen lock up again on me? Is this thing, can somebody confirm if this is still streaming or does something get locked up on me? Because my Strat computer game is up on me. Oh, here we go. Maybe that helps. Hate to have a mess up here. Okay, it looks like it's better off. All right, thank you, Brian B. and Dav. Thank you. Yeah, on the other channel, Dibble would come out for a relief pitcher when it's a 7-2 game. Ridiculous. But that's just the way it works on the other channel. All right, here's Charlie Hayes. All right, something happened here. I don't know what happened on the game thing here. Let's go back to the play-by-play because something did not go right on this last at bat. Dalton does fly out, so I do have that correctly. So why is the pitcher up here now? Should be Charlie. Oh, because we double switched. That's right. Charlie Hayes was taking on a double switch. Forgot all about that. So it will be a pinch hitter for the pitcher, and then Hollins will bat after that. But we need a pinch hitter, and they're going to a left-handed pinch hitter if they can find one. The only left-handed pinch hitter they have is Rod Booker. Or, no, I'm sorry, they do have Kurt Ford. They're going to go with Kurt Ford. He was not carded, so I had to make him. So Kurt Ford will be your pinch hitter. It will be Mr. Ford. He will pinch hit for Parrott. Kurt Ford had some good years with the Cardinals in a utility role, but now with the Phillies in 1990. So here's Ford. That's a 1-4-5. Pitcher's not a struggler, so it's a ground ball to first, and that's 2 away. Two down. And the last chance for the Phillies will be Dave Hollins. 1-3-4. Is catcher goal? No. Is batter a champion? No. We have outfield drama for the Reds. Everyone is neutral in the outfield for the Reds. That's a 1-4 on the outfield drama chart. 1-4. Right fielder goal? No, it's going to be a single. So since the right fielder O'Neill was not gold, the Hollins ball in play drops in for a single. So how about that? Dave Hollins gets himself a single. So Hollins, a 2-out single, will keep the game going. And we flip it to Lenny Dykstra, top of the order. Three-5-6. That's a left-right split, and that's a base hit for Dykstra on that left-right single. Left-right chance on the single. That's a base hit, but runners on the corners. Now the Reds have to worry about if Dibble can finish this game. If he can't finish, they'll bring in Myers if they have to, but they want to give Dibble every opportunity to finish this game. Here's Tommy Herr. 2-5-6 for the pitcher. Is he a struggler? No. Batter champion or patient? Neither one. It's infield drama. So now it's infield drama for the Reds. And Oster at second is semi-iron. Everybody else is neutral. So he is iron. Oster will be iron at second base if a second base play is called on infield drama. 4-6. Shortstop goal. No, it's going to be an error at first base on Barry Larkin. That will score Hollins. Dykstra will take second. And Tommy Herr reaches on the E6 by Larkin. Reds getting sloppy here in the ninth. That's an unearned run. And it's the second error by the Reds in this game. Keeps the game going for Von Hayes. It's now 7-3. So it would be a save situation. So Dibble is coming out of the ball game, and they're going to have to go to Randy Myers. They don't want to take any chances. They're going to go to Randy Myers to try to make sure nothing gets away from him. Myers is an ace. He'll be a double ace on this particular at-bat coming in mid-inning. So perhaps Dibble just kind of tired out there at the end. So we will go to Randy Myers out of the bullpen. See what he can, if he can wrap it up with one pitch, one out kind of deal. Myers on the replay is 1-0 with 2 saves and the ERA of 0. 5 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So the 4 walks are a little bit disturbing, but see if he can at least get Von Hayes. But Hayes is a semi-home run king, so that could be trouble too. That's a 4.46. 4.46, and 4.46 says, is the pitcher a star? He's ace, but not a star. Is the batter sad sack, utility, or patient? He is semi-patient. The sire die says he's patient, so he takes a call, strike 3, and that is your ball game. Phillies do scratch a run across, but Hayes was too patient trying to wait out those pitches, and he got rung up by the home plate umpire, Dana DeMuth, and there is your ball game. The Reds have won 5 in a row now to improve to 8-3 on the season after a 3-3 start. And we'll get to the box score to get all the totals for you. Winning pitcher is Rijo. He is now 2-0, so we'll get his numbers to be 2-0. For Dibble, he went 1 2/3. Gave up 2 hits and 1 run, which was unearned. No walks, no strikeouts, which is unusual. Myers, a third of an inning, and he got the strikeout to earn his 3rd save of the season. The loss goes to Howell. And on the Strat computer, he's 1-1. Not that that matters. It's not keeping anything for the Phillies. All right, so the line score in the ball game for the Reds, 7 runs, 13 hits, and 2 errors. And they left 11 runners on base. For the Phillies, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and they left on 9. So player of the game, we're giving it to Paul O'Neill. He was 3 for 5 in the game. Came in as the designated coal batter, but he 3 for 5, 2 singles and a double, and very instrumental in getting it done. Although Benziger has a claim as well. That 3-run homer in the 9th really gave him the cushion they needed. And he also had a double early on, although that didn't really matter for anything. So pick your poison there, but I'll go ahead and give it to Paul O'Neill as the player of the game. So there you go. Reds win it by the score of 7-3, and they improve to 8-3 as they have won 5 in a row. Go to the standings, and the Reds are in first place. They lead the Dodgers by 1 game. Dodgers are 9-6, and San Francisco's 2.5 back at 7-7. Everybody else in the West is under 500. So the Reds winning. They were 9-2 in real world at this point. We're 8-3, so we're almost right there. I mean, pretty close when you think about it. So not bad. It was definitely not rigged, Brian. That's for sure. No way in the world it was rigged. So if you want to check out the game, I mean, Al Wilson has some really good videos on this game about how to. I think I did a couple way back in the day that probably weren't very good. But Al Wilson definitely is, or Steve Tower, either one. Both are the go-to people for History Maker Baseball. I do like the game very much, whether it's with MLB players or with fictional players. I think it does well on both, actually. But in this case, Phillies, Reds. And as we look ahead to the second and final game of the series, the next game, Something's open here. What I got to close here? I got to close that stat screen. That's what I got to close before to let me go over here. Okay, next game will be Rick Mailer for the Reds as the starter against Bruce 2 minutes for Ruffin for the Phillies. So it'll be righty Rick Mailer against lefty Bruce Ruffin. And then that's on the 25th. And then there is an off day where the Reds will travel back to Cincinnati. And then start on the 27th, they will be hosting the Montreal Expos. It'll be Tom Browning against Zane Smith in the game one of that one. So, but right now, game number 11 is in the books. The Reds are 8-3. So game 12 will be Rick Mailer against Bruce Ruffin, and that will finish up the 2-game set at the Vet. So I hope you all enjoyed that presentation of the Cincinnati Reds History Maker Baseball. Even if you don't totally understand the game completely, I was trying to show at least some of the mini charts I don't want to show the whole book, but I was at least trying to show some of the mini charts, like the drama charts and so forth, so you can see what I was reading and know why I was doing what I was doing. So hopefully that was entertaining. Going about an hour and 15 minutes. So hopefully for those that stuck around, it was entertaining enough to keep you around. A little bit of drama at the end, but for the most part, it was a very tight game until the 9th inning. Then the Phillies made it interesting in the bottom of the 9th against Mr. Dibble, but it wasn't his fault. It was that, some shoddy fielding there that kind of took part of that. So that's going to do it from here as the Cincinnati Reds win their 5th game in a row over the Philadelphia Phillies. And it will be Rick Mailer against Bruce Ruffin in the next game, final game of the series. Later tonight, maybe I might come out and do the Stratomatic 1987 replay, final game from April 25th. It'll be the Yankees visiting Cleveland. Rick Rhoden against Scott Haybales in that one. Not sure when that will be done, but I'll do it at some point, probably today or tonight, most likely tonight. Have to wait because Saturday night's a very big night for streaming for a lot of people, so I want to try to avoid, crossing over with 3 or 4 people streaming at the same time. So I try to pick times where people aren't streaming as much as I can. But there's a lot of streamers out there, so it's really hard to do unless you pick something real early in the morning or real late at night. And I'm not an early bird or a night owl. I'm kind of in between, so I got to pick the in-between stuff. And if somebody's streaming, so be it. Doesn't really matter. All right, that's going to do it from here. I got some honeydew stuff to do on this Saturday. It's 2 o'clock on the East Coast, or just about 2 o'clock on the East Coast. So it's time for me to get some honeydew stuff done. And then probably later on this afternoon or this evening, it'll be Stratomatic on the channel. Super advanced. It will be 1987 AL replay, the final game from April 25th. Then we can finally move on to April 26th. And at the end of April, I'll give statistics of all the players, the leaders of the league and stuff like that. I'll print out something at the end of the month, particularly just to give a wrap up for the month. So that's going to do it from here, from the Vet. Final score again, Cincinnati 7, Philadelphia 3. Winning pitcher, Jose Rijo. Losing pitcher, Ken Howell, and the save to Randy Myers. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.